Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's Once Upon a Time, Season 1, Episode 15. I've taken a couple of days break since Episode 14 because I wasn't feeling very well, but I'm in tip-top shape once again. Obviously I want to finish getting through Season 1 as quick as I can so that I can then refocus on uploading MLP. And then I will circle back around to Young Justice. So, you know, I'm trying to work things in a cycle here so I can get all types of content out. But I felt Once Upon a Time was more than due me finishing Season 1, so then I can catch up with MLP. This episode 15, I've been told, is a Ruby episode, which I have been waiting for, I do admit, because obviously I have bias with watching the show Ruby and all the fairy tale influences that are in that, and obviously I know it's going to be an entirely different take because this is more close to the spirits of the original. But in that sense, Ruby has always intrigued me in this series because she is not how I always imagined Little Red Riding Hood. She's certainly not little in more ways than one. So the way she's been presented is like completely thrown me for a loop. So to get more depth for her will be very interesting indeed. She's always been a bit of an intrigue that I'd love to know more about, and I'm glad I'm finally getting that chance. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see how this ties into the original tale, like with the wolf and, you know, the woodsman or hunter, whoever it is that saves her from the wolf in the original fairy tale. Yeah, let's have a look. This is an episode that piques my interest like few others. Now, it is way too late for me to watch another episode, but you bastards and your temptations, you make me want to so much. You make me want to so much because I can't take being left on a cliffhanger like this. So, like, what, is it affecting multiple people who can't remember their actions? Okay, so yeah, no wonder Ruby got freaked out. Let's get that out of the way. She decided, you know what, I've seen a heart on my first day on the job. This isn't for me. It's just not for me. And I completely understand that. I would probably be the same. I'd be like, either keep me in the office or see you. I don't want to see shit like that. I do not have the stomach or the patience for it. But, oh... Okay, this episode did a lot of great things for me. Firstly, it was great to see the relationship between Ruby and Granny expanded upon. As I said, the emotional beats for their characters came crashing back in the middle by the end, and it makes for such a satisfying emotional moment. That was super sweet and adorable. And the other thing I really appreciate about Once Upon a Time is the way it's flipping certain beloved stories on their head. Like the whole mix and match they did with the dwarves about how they hatch from eggs and how their name can change based on their dominant personality trait and how he turned into Grumpy because of his heartbreak. You know, it's little things like that that I love when they put twists on things and add more depth to things. But something I really wasn't expecting, yet as I said, is pretty much what Once Upon a Time does, was setting up Peter and this whole wolf thing opposite Red Riding Hood, as we've all come to know and love. And then to turn around and have her family be the wolves. What? That is brilliant. That is genius. I very much doubt there are many people who saw that coming. Like, it was being set up so well for it to be very conventional. And then to turn it around and have her rip apart her own boyfriend, that is so dark. That is so tragic. I mean, I wasn't close enough to his character to cry or mourn over him. I was more upset by the obvious turmoil it would cause Red, you know. But still, that was so fucked up to include. Like, and he was all chained up and helpless and just died. He was essentially offered to it as a meal. Oh, that is so awful. And the worst part is she thought she was doing that to protect him and everyone else, and then she transformed and ate him. That is so stupidly sad. Ah. But as I say, the twist that they put on that tale is nothing short of phenomenal. Like, it's little things like that the show purposely does that give me so much respect to the writing behind it. Like, it's that drive to be original in the delivery. It's that drive to do something with it rather than just retell the story. Let's apply it to these characters and then tell our own story with it. That is quality writing. You keep the spirit of the originals while like bringing something new to the table. And while I'm quite sure that tearing apart your own boyfriend in an event of tragedy and then having to run away from town is nowhere near close to the spirit of the original Red Riding Hood that had a happy ending, but you get what I mean. I mean, in the general sense of fairy tales and Once Upon a Time, obviously you're gonna get the odd occasion like this where everything just ended shittily, but the way it was delivered was nothing short of class. Like, oh, it was perfectly executed, I felt. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this. I must admit, I was starting to get a bit lost and confused with how this somehow related to what was happening in Storybrooke with David wandering the forest and then not remembering, thinking that might explain the phone calls. But then for there to be a heart in the woods and it have Mary Margaret's fingerprints on it, what does this mean for Mary Margaret? Like, I have a hard time believing she actually did anything. She's a sweetheart, we all know this. She's obviously, destined to have a happy ending with the other Storybrooke characters. So it's obvious she has no part in this. I'm still blaming Regina, but how did... The only thing that makes sense to me is that she also got affected by this and doesn't remember what she's been doing, and she was manipulated by Regina. Because this whole removed heart thing, that's Regina's thing. That's her evil queen thing. Like, so I bet Catherine is still alive somewhere, but without that heart. That's what I think. She is still alive somewhere without that heart, but because they found that heart in that box, probably because Regina wants them to find it, like, they're like, oh shit, she's dead. Like, because she doesn't have a heart, how can she be alive? Oh, but little do you guys know. You see, I think that's where this is heading, but I'm so excited to find out. I love the twist that they put on this classic story, and I like how it also explained how she came to meet with Snow. And obviously they bonded a lot with running away together. So basically Snow kept traveling but brought Red along with her. That's a great way to explain how they got so close. But yeah. As much as it pains me to leave on this cliffhanger, I'm gonna have to wait until tomorrow. This was a pretty good episode to come back to after my spell of illness. I'm glad I didn't force myself to record anything yesterday and the other day, because I don't think my heart would have been fully in it and I wouldn't have been as emotionally invested. And when I react to stuff, I like to give you guys 100%. It's the least I can do for all of you for the loyal support you've shown me. On that note, I shall see you guys next time.